Simon Ekpa said that Biafrans have rejected restructuring or whatever regional government they are pushing, the Nigerian government is pushing, as a way of subverting the will of the people without the consent of the people, of course, without the input of the ethnic nationalities. You cannot just force the regional government on the people. What are the templates? What are the conditions, of course, and terms of running the regional government? Is it the same restructuring that the sitting vice president said under my foot? Is it the one that should be accepted by Simon Ekpa and the Biafrans? No, to be candid and to be very honest with yourself and with what is happening. The vice president Setima said that restructuring under his foot. To hell with restructuring. Is it the same restructuring that you want to force on the Biafrans or the indigenous people of Biafra or the ethnic nationalities to accept something that had been carpeted under the foot? No, any person opposing Simon Ekpa for rejecting whatever restructuring that may have been planned, of course, by the Nigerian government is mischievous and, of course, trying to make uh, empty noise because the restructuring already have been rejected, even from the office of the presidency. If the vice president can say restructuring under my foot, so why are you canvassing? Why are you trying to force the same restructuring or whatever under whatever disguise? You said restructuring my foot. Is it something under your foot that you should force people to accept? And nobody, even the president, have not reacted to that statement from the vice president Shetima, which means it is in line, it is a planned work, and they are working in synergy to continue to hold the ethnic nationalities within this consortium to ransom. And people who have understood the handwriting of the world, we are smart enough to reject it. Because if they can reject the Abuja Accord, they reject the confab, and coming to tell us that restructuring is under their foot, it can go to hell, then it is needless discussion about restructuring in the first instance because it has been rejected by those who should have, of course, projected this restructuring and defined the templates or the condition under which such agreement could be reached and sought the opinions of the ethnic nationalities across board, not just forcing it on the people at the barrels of God. That is not acceptable. And that is why Simon Ekpa said that Nigeria will burn down if any attempt to coerce the people, to force the people into accepting what has been rejected, discarded, what has been trampled upon, what has been carpeted under the feet by the same government. That amounts to double standard. And of course, I wouldn't blame anyone rejecting it because it is a dead end. And of course, that will be frustrated even at the Senate plenary once it does not protect their interests or it does not serve their interests, especially the northern oligarchies. So Simon Ekpa saying that any attempt, of course, to force the Nigerian state, to force the Biafran state or the Biafran Republic government will resist any attempt, of course, in that regard. That restructuring is unacceptable, that the amalgamation of the Nigeria Treaty 1914 has expired, they should return back to the foundation, to the source of the problem, and address this issue once and for all. Let each ethnic nationalities come to decide where they belong. It is their rights, the inalienable rights for that matter. After the expiration of the amalgamation in 2013, it behoves on the Nigerian government, if they are reasonable enough, to call, of course, sovereign conference, which Jonathan did, and it was discarded. Though Jonathan own was restructuring, he never gave the ethnic nationalities the right, of course, to discuss the continued existence of Nigeria because of his selfish interest to return back to the oval seat or the seat of power as a rock. But that notwithstanding, of course, the lingering crisis, insecurity, the economic buhahas, presupposes, and the acrimony and the killings across board, the ravaging beasts that are killing the entire country, destroying their properties across board, is something that informs this urgent need to reconsider the continued existence of Nigeria. You don't blame Simon Ekpa or any other uh, agitator who said, we have seen it all and you can't continue to deceive us under any disguise. Of course, of calling for regional government or whatever restructuring or the creation of new state. Why the existing states are impoverished, they are moribund, they are not viable, they can't even pay salaries, they're owing arrears of gratuities, pensions, and unfortunately, there is no any uh, meaningful progress recorded. So, what is the need of creation of state when even the existing ones are in the state of comatose? They are moribund. I mean, they are in the state of insolvency. So, the only thing and the lasting solution, as preferred by the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, Mazin Nnamdi Kano, is Biafra and nothing else. So people should be allowed to make their expressions, to air their opinions, just as Shetima did by saying, regardless of the opinions of other ethnic nationality, the Feniferes, the Oduduwa, of course, the Middle Belt forums, and the Honesians have been calling for restructuring, but unfortunately, it was a slap on their face by telling them that restructuring under my foot. That if restructuring is under your foot, you are right, and you're really right, of course. And you should also learn to accept people's own opinion and position regarding this. Nigeria is not working for anyone except for the political elites and their cronies. So we cannot continue to wallow in this deep darkness and deception. It's no longer tenable, it's no longer fashionable to continue to accept what is wrong and to coerce the people to believe that that is the only way for them as enslaved people. We are not slaves, we are not born slaves, and you cannot force us to remain slaves. We can't accept that. It's a fundamental right, and there's nothing you can do about that. If you're certain to go to hell, then that is very good. We're on the same page, but with different perspective. Remember, bless until I come your way in subsequent edition. Don't forget to hit the like buttons. Don't forget to hit the like buttons, and of course, subscribe to this channel and share this video. Let it go viral. Let people get to know. So when Simon Ekpa is sounding the way he's sounding, of course, something must have informed his position. He may have seen it all and seen the insincerity and lack of commitment on the part of the government, of course, to keep to his promises. And the only way of panacea to this millions of problem, of course, is to call for uh, self-determination or the restoration of the Biafran state. Of course, each region or ethnic nationality can also part their ways. The Oduduwa, the Ariwas, and what the Biafrans, of course, have taken the cost, and is a point of no return according to the submissions of the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra. And people have understood, of course, that the Nigerian system is not working. It is designed, of course, to keep people in the wheel of motionless and despair. And how long can people continue to weep and wail endlessly? It is time, of course, to fix and to get it right. And there's no other better time but now. Remember, bless Adamachiko Zendebo, the analyst and anchor here in Cowwave TV. Bye for now.